Hi, I'm Sam.
And I'm Charles.
Welcome to Sidechicks,
The podcast for anyone who's been dreaming about starting that side hustle but hasn't quite taken the leap yet.
We're chatting with everyday people, turning ideas into income, all while juggling life, parenthood, full-time jobs, and everything in between.
Think of us as your business besties, here to keep it real, share the highs and lows, and remind you that you don't need to have it all figured out to get started.
Just a good idea, a bit of courage, and maybe a coffee or five. Welcome to another episode of Sidechicks. Today we have a truly special guest joining us, Jasmin, the incredible entrepreneur behind Haven Tattoo Studios, Treasures by Haven, Iced by Haven, and Haven Piercing.
Kia ora, Jasmin.
Kia ora. Thank you for having me, Chelsea. Thank you for having me, Sam.
So excited to have you here.
Sweet. So, as we said last week, we are going to start adding in a recommendation to the start of each episode, a weekly recommendation.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'll kick it off this week. Mine is completely unbusiness related, and I'm sorry, but it's only relevant to people that live in Christchurch. But the office that I work at is in Belfast.
Oh.
And the bakery.
Are you promoting like your office?
No, I'm promoting the bakery near my work. So it's Loaf's Bakery. And I'm not just promoting the whole bakery. Well, I am, but I'm mainly promoting their sausage roll. It is so fucking good. They've got two. They've got like a large gourmet one and then the little one. It's the little one. I don't know if the big one has the same recipe or not. I don't think I've ever had it.
Hey, it ain't always size.
Yeah, but the little sausage roll at Loaf's Bakery, fucking 12 out of 10.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is it like a little hidden gem?
Yeah, I think it is.
They're
They sell
always the
out.
best.
They sell
Oh,
out. Yeah, if
really?
you go there after like, I want to say 11:30 or 12 p.m, gone.
Yeah.
And then if you got to wait till like 1 p.m. for them to cook a new batch.
Whoa. They're hustling on
Yeah.
those saucy rolls.
And the lady that owns it is so nice. She recognises me. Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I don't know.
Did I
Chels.
go too much?
I don't know. That's so good.
Yeah, like I went on maternity leave and then like came back and she was like, "Oh, how's your baby?" And yeah, because she's had a baby
that's
as well.
really
She's really nice.
cute.
Yeah.
Love
So shout out Loaf's Bakery, Belfast.
Cool.
It's on Main North Road.
Amazing.
Yeah. Also near the Salvation Army op shop. So if you're on a wee
sweet.
lunch break,
2 for 1.
saucy roll, pop over to the op shop.
Amazing. Do you get any work done when you're at work, or are you just
Yeah, this is my lunch break. This is my unpaid lunch break. Thank you very much.
just calling you out?
Yeah.
So mine is definitely not as fun as that, but it's Gary V. He's got a podcast. I think it's called the Gary V Podcast.
Never heard of it. What's it
Oh,
about?
he's so good. He's just a marketing guru, and he's just got some really good information. He's the guy, did I say to you, apparently, like, because we were talking about, like, LinkedIn, TikTok,
yeah.
blah, 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 and he also mentioned Snapchat is, like, a really good marketing platform at the moment, good pricing
Oh,
for
so
what you
ads
get.
on Snapchat.
Ads on Snapchat.
Interesting.
But, yeah, he's just got some really good insights. He's been in the game for ages. He worked in his dad's liquor store, took it to another level,
Yeah.
started selling wine online.
Oh.
Yeah, so he's just like, and this was probably 20 years ago now.
Wow.
So he's just got a really good mind,
Yeah.
and he holds these conferences and turns them into a podcast. So
Oh, cool.
yeah, he's really, really good to listen to.
Nice.
Yeah.
And what's yours, Jasmin?
So good sharing recommendations. Probably for me, I'll go a podcast because I feel like one thing with business is mindset. So there's a podcast called Mindset Mentor. If you haven't checked that out, it's so good. Just like every day he does podcasts, little small snippets, and it's just like if you start your day with one of those, you literally just like boom, straight on.
Nice.
And my book recommendation is Buy Back Your Time by Dan Martell, which is a fantastic book. I've read it at various points of my business journey, and every time it's sort of like related to different parts, and I've always been able to implement it, and it's helped me to grow and scale my businesses a lot throughout that time.
Awesome.
Do you know if he's got an audiobook?
He does have an audiobook. Yep, it's on YouTube. If you're on YouTube Premium, you get it ad free. But it's also on Spotify. If you've got Spotify Premium, you get like you get some free audiobooks. I'm pretty sure it's in there as well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Definitely more likely to listen to it, I think, rather than read it. Cool. So let's just get into it. Do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do, I sort of explained what your businesses are, but go into what they actually are, and kind of how you got started, how they started.
Yep, absolutely.
Cool.
I sound like a broken record sometimes. I feel like I tell this story so many times because anyone who I meet, the conversation literally goes like this.
Okay.
Oh, hi, I'm Jasmin. Hey, how are you? Blah, blah, blah. Oh, it gets into, okay, what do you do? And I say, oh, I own tattoo studios, which is like primarily my main business and income generating source is tattoo studio. So I usually go with that. And they say, oh, you're a tattoo artist. And I say, no. And then they say, okay, how the heck did you come into owning a tattoo studio without being a tattoo artist? Because like by industry standards, it's not normal. 99% of tattoo studios are owned by tattoo artists, which is so fair and cool, and I can totally see why, because they're incredibly talented and amazing people. But I sort of fell into it accidentally. My son's dad is a tattoo artist, and 5 years ago during COVID, he was moving here to New Zealand because I had my son. And we opened it together originally, and I did it to support his dream, and I had saved on my maternity leave like max $15,000. I had just saved and saved and saved. I hadn't done anything because it had been COVID. And so I thought, okay, screw it. I'm just going to invest all my savings into this, opening this little tattoo studio on New Regent Street. It was just a downstairs studio, 30 square meters at the time, and one bed, and just for him. And I was the receptionist, and I had my baby strapped to my front, and I was I was the receptionist, the cleaner, the social media guy, the bookings manager, the phone answerer. I was everything at that point.
Mumming on the side.
Yeah, we stuck the mirrors to the walls with liquid nails ourselves, and we did everything. We painted everything. We ripped walls out, all of this stuff. And it was like, at that point, I did not have a lot of money at all. And I had come from a background of like marketing and business development, doing that for other businesses. But really, I had no idea what I was getting myself into whatsoever at all, opening my own business. And very quickly, my son's dad and I realized that we had very different ideas of how business was going to operate. Unfortunately, it just didn't work out between the two of us. And after about 3 months, he moved back overseas. I was left with this commercial lease in the centre of town in Christchurch that I was signed into. And I was
just
thinking,
gave me goosebumps.
Yeah. I'm like, what the hell? Like, if you know about commercial leases, they're not like house leases. Like, you cannot break them. You cannot get out. Like, it's like you're death trapped in there.
And more expensive.
And so expensive. So expensive, like prime real estate, New Regent Street. I was lucky it was during COVID, so it was like a little bit less than it is these days, but it was still a lot for a single mum that wasn't a tattoo artist. So I couldn't just jump in and start tattooing myself. We had hired a couple of other people who, one apprentice and another tattoo artist that was sort of contracting with us at that point. And they had definitely come on because he's a fantastic tattoo artist and they wanted to work with him.
Right.
And so I just thought, what the hell is anyone going to want to work with me? Like, why would anyone want to stay and work with me? I have no idea what I'm doing. I don't even know anything about tattoo needles, inks. Like, I don't know how to do the ordering. I don't know, like I barely knew anything at all. I knew a little bit about business. That was it. Yeah. And I just sort of was like, okay, they're not keen to leave immediately. And we didn't, a breakup takes a little while. So we were a bit all over the place with everything at that stage. And I just sort of made it work for the rest of the year. Yeah. And I worked my ass off, and I would literally like be on like Facebook groups being like, oh, we've just opened a tattoo studio, trying to find ways to promote it. We had like a really low minimum price to try and get people in the doors. We would have days where there was no one, there was no tourism. Like, you think like COVID, it was opening and closing. We were still having lockdowns. And so like the government would give some subsidies, but it was really expensive. And it was a big thing at the time. But after about a year, we were actually making money.
Nice.
And I was like, okay, this is kind of cool. Like, I kind of vibe being this tattoo studio owner, this little tattoo studio. And I was like, I think we could afford to maybe take on a couple more artists. And at the time, we rented the top level to another office space. Yeah. And we said to them, hey, we're going to need that top level. And we took over, and it was so bare and empty, and it was so basic. We popped some tattoo beds up there, and we got a couple more people in, and yeah, luckily it just really continued to grow. Long story, very short. Then a year later, we took the shop beside us as well, so it was my second commercial lease to extend the studio. We now have 9 beds in the studios combined. They're 2 separate units, but yeah, which is kind of cool because it separates the different floors. You've got 4 different parts: upstairs, downstairs, and then reception.
Cool.
And yeah, we do a lot of things under the brand umbrella these days. Like, it's growing now. We're shifting more away from just a tattoo studio kind of thing to building more of a brand. My kind of ethos for it is like, I want to build something where like people can come together and feel like supported in a creative environment. The industry is can be really harsh on people, and it's like there's a lot of tattoo artists out there that get taken advantage of and have to go through a really hard time just to get into the industry. And I think for a long time I thought that like me not being a tattoo artist was like a downfall, and I let people sort of make me feel like that was, a weakness for me. But I've realized, like, as I've got more and more confident in my own self and my business skills and the way that I've grown myself and worked on myself, like I've in the background of all of this been working on myself for years, like just like learning, absorbing as much information as possible, podcasts, books, everything I possibly could, networking, meeting people, just like so much self-work. But as I've got more confident, I've realised that me not being a tattoo artist has actually been the best blessing in the world, because I can see everything from a client's perspective.
Yeah,
so
that's a
true.
good point.
You've got a whole different outlook to it.
Whole different outlook.
Did you have, when you kind of started, did you have a bit of a mentor or a guide or anyone like that could kind of help you through it? Or
that's a good question.
Not really?
I had, at some point, I had some business consulting done. And that was helpful at the time. It was such early days, and they sort of helped me to do things like introduce like a standard operational procedure and like just sort of things like policy. And it was when I was moving from just having contractors to actually having employees, which is a huge shift, and one of the most difficult shifts in any business. Like, hiring people and having staff under you is like, it's like having kids, not in a way that's like condescending at all, but it's like, these are people that now like rely on you. You owe them, hours, money. You're obligated to do a lot of things, and it's like, it's a big commitment. So it's like you have to be ready for that next step. And so when I went to that stage, it was kind of like, okay, I'd like someone to come in and sort of give me some advice. So yeah, I did do that. It was through a Māori organisation that helped me. I actually can't remember the name of them, but they were fantastic. Cool. They were really good. Yeah. But I have done a lot of, I would say my main mentors would be like reading and podcasts, like in YouTube. Like I've learned a lot myself, but through other people, obviously. Yeah. But I haven't had
so much information out there. Eh?
There's so much information, so much information.
And if it's not to do with business, it's to do with improving on yourself, which is just as important. Eh?
Just as, if not more. Yeah. I mean, I think I'm always like, I'm a big advocate nowadays because I see how much work I do on myself and how it translates into like just my confidence going into different situations and how I feel navigating complex stuff now.
Because you would have to have that extra boost of confidence if you're up against people that potentially might think they know more than you in the industry. Eh?
Yeah, you've got to be so sure on yourself. And that's been a big thing for me. At different points, I definitely let other people lead in the early days, and I was so unsure of myself, and I thought, if I made decisions that they might be the wrong ones because what did I know and stuff like that. But I think like part of being like a good business owner is actually backing yourself and just knowing that like if you make a wrong decision, there's not, I feel for me personally, it's never a wrong decision. It's just like leading you into a different path, So it's like whatever decision that you make, you just have to back yourself and own it, and just run with it. And, it's great to take advice and feedback from people, but I think sometimes trusting yourself and your own knowledge and intuition, like doing your own research and then understanding that like you're leading the way. And you just have to do it, bite the bullet and do it. So you have to have a lot of faith in yourself. And so that comes into that confidence is like where I've really worked on understanding who I am as a person, what my skills are and aren't. And I listen a lot to my team. Like I have an amazing team of people that surround me and I'm so grateful. And their advice is everything to me. Yeah. Like when we have our staff meetings, like we're sitting there, there's like 30 of us in a room, and I'm going, okay, guys, like, what do you think we should do about this? What do you think we should do about this? And it's like, I don't think that I know more than them at all. However, the final call, when it comes back to me, I'm confident that I can make the right decision now.
Nice.
So you say you've got 9 beds. That doesn't mean you've got 9 staff.
No. So I've got 9 beds in the new Regent Street studio, and then we've got 4 beds in the other studio now.
Right.
And then it's on a rotating roster.
Right,
So
okay.
it's sort of like some people do 4 days and some people do 5 days, and then we have guest artists coming in and out all the time as well.
True. Cool.
So you've got like about 17 tattoo artists and apprentices across the studios. Yep. And then we've got 2 PSs. And then we've got like 4 managers and then a couple part-time people as well. So it's a big team. And then outside of that, we also have 3 remote people. So I have an amazing girl who does all my marketing and all our socials.
Cool.
With my friend Ino, who's based in Bali.
Amazing.
Yeah. So we've got like, now I'm sort of like building like a little bit of a Bali team. So I've got 3 people based in Bali, which is so
really
cool.
cool.
Because I didn't mention with my lifestyle, I live part-time in Bali as well. So I'm very much between New Zealand and Bali. I've had a house there the past 3 years.
Yeah.
And I've been there probably half with probably there 60% of the time. I'm traveling 20% and then I'm here 30% on the ground the last couple of years. But yeah, I've got Ino, who has an agency called Sun Social, and she does an amazing job at all our marketing. She's fantastic. She's just one of those people that I like will give a very vague idea to, and she just comes back with everything for me. Like, she's just got the best eye. She's an incredibly talented designer. She's a photographer. She's just exceptional. She's really an amazing person, and I'm being so lucky to find so much talent.
Oh, yeah. So how does that work with content?
Yeah, good question.
Getting it.
Yep. So in the studio, the girls will record content, or the artists will record content. We have a shared Apple album, which it gets uploaded to, and then I know as part of that album, and she's able to take that content and purpose it for whatever we use on socials. So she controls all of that remotely, and that's been a fantastic thing to do. It's not any cheaper to outsource remote actually at this point, but it's been really cool for me to actually have a team to bounce ideas off and have someone involved in the business. I flew her over here when she first started. She's from Finland originally, but I flew her into New Zealand when she first started to get on the ground and meet our team and see the big opening and launch for the Drifter Studio. And she, did some photography and met all my staff, my artists, and she ran a social media sort of lesson, which is really cool. When we have someone on board that knows so much about social media, marketing, business development, that my team can go to and ask questions as well. And she has like a lot more insight because that's her full-time job, staying on top of the trends, staying on top of the way that things are going. What's the best thing to be trying now? How should I hook people into my reels? These sorts of things. And then I've got 2 other girls in Bali, Mon and Shelby, who do remote bookings management. So they spend 4 hours a day online. And they are responding to all emails, calls, texts. We're responsive from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. every day of the week. We do not miss an inquiry. We are always on. We're always polite, friendly. If you inquire, you say, I want to get a tattoo. We're like, hey, Sam, we're here. What do you need? How can we help? We're here to make your journey easy.
Not just like an automated, like...
No automated, no. And like in a world where everything's going that direction, I feel like we've really honed in on the experience and like trying to build like a really personal connection with our clients. Like, we want it to feel like people are coming in and they're like part of something, we're a community, we're a collective, we're creatives, we're friends. It's like you come in and people feel like, wow, this place is so welcoming and so warm, which is like the opposite of a lot of tattoo studios experience for people. Like a lot of people, you're in pain and it can be really difficult and it can be super scary to like speak up.
It can be intimidating.
So intimidating.
I've been through that before. I've been intimidated. I literally this on my wrist.
Yes, I know.
I was only like 19 or 18 and I was living in Perth. And I was like, oh, I'm a cool 18-year-old. I want to get a tattoo, obviously. And I went in to book and they were like, oh, we've got this guest artist coming over from Melbourne. You can book him with him. He's obviously more expensive, but it'll be done by a guest artist. So me and my friend are like, okay. And then obviously went back for the booking. I can't even remember how much it cost, but probably something stupid. And I told him what I wanted, which was the word love, and the O had to be a peace symbol because that's how cool I was. And he just like went away, wrote whatever font he wanted, like didn't ask me anything, and then came back and was like, you know, do you like this? And I was like too scared to say no. And it's so stupid. Like so stupid.
No, we're drilled
stupid.
as females to be people pleasers. And
Yeah.
it's such a habit. Kiwis, we're really bad for it. Like we'll just like, and women especially, like it's like you could be like getting followed by a man and you'll be like too scared to run because you won't want to offend them. Like, you're like, I don't want them to think that I'm scared of them. But what if they're not chasing me? But
Yeah, and then I'll look like an idiot.
And then you're like, and then I'll make them feel bad. And it's like, no, take your heels off, babe. Run. We're so conditioned to people please. And so it's actually about breaking it. And with tattoos, it's something that's on you for life.
I know, it's still on me.
we're
Do you
really
do tattoo removal?
Sacred Laser in Christchurch.
Okay.
Sam at Sacred Laser, phenomenal. The best tattoo
Sweet.
removal in the house. She is so good.
Expect a
and so talented.
DM.
Yeah. So for example, like, we've had experiences before where a client's come back and been like, hey, you know, like I'm not happy with the tattoo that I got. It's just not what I envisioned. At that point, it's too late, you know, like, and it's like I rewatched the security footage or the camera footage to try to see the interaction, see what went wrong, where we messed up, if we messed up. I'm watching it, and this person is like, yeah, I love it. Oh my God, stands up in the mirror. Oh my God, it's fantastic. It's amazing.
no.
You know, and I'm like, I'm
They're
sitting
just
there
dying inside.
thinking, oh my God,
that's
my
so
poor artist, you know, like how are they to know any
Yeah.
different? You know, like how are they to know? To a conference this week at Te Pai, and it was called Inspire and Succeed. And, you know, there was a guy there who he owns 70 businesses. So his portfolio, it's like he does kind of like business acquisition now at this stage. So he owns 70 businesses. He's like a part shareholder in them, a lot of them. But he was sort of saying like your business, it's like when you have your first kid and your first kid is like everything. And this is like kind of the transition stage that I'm in as well. And your first kid is everything. And as soon as they, you know, make a small sound, you're like racing to them. And then it's like the second kid, it's like, you know, you've got a little bit more, you're like, yeah, he'll be fine kind of attitude. And then like the third kid, it's like, okay, I'm not even going to run anymore. I'm not even going to go and see him. And then the fourth one, it's like, you'll be right. You know, like
I was the fourth kid.
Same. I was the fourth kid too.
Yeah. So like by that point, you know, like I promise you, the first child would have had a very different experience.
Yes.
So it's like you can love and your business can be your baby for sure. But then like if you want to grow and scale, you have to shift into like a different way of managing your businesses. You can still do it, but it's never going to be like the same one dedicated love. But it's actually about like not viewing it actually anymore as your baby and just viewing it as a business, because at the end of the day that's what it is. And that is where I'm shifting to now. I'm feeling more like I'm like, okay, this is not my heart, life, soul and purpose anymore. It's part of who I am and it's part of what I do, but I want to do more with my life and I want to do more businesses and I want to continue to build on sort of the Haven brand. We're doing merch this year, like we're kind of moving towards more fashion-based stuff because that's what I love. Yeah.
Do you want to start telling us about the other one? So we haven't touched on what Treasure by Haven is or Ice by Haven.
Yeah, so we've got Treasures, which is permanent jewellery.
Oh,
so
cool.
we do, pure gold and sterling silver, permanent bracelets, anklets, body chains, stuff like that. Cool. Which is super cool. And it was just something that I started with Louise, a friend of mine, and she's the person who does the jewellery and everything. We kind of saw there wasn't a lot of people in Christchurch doing it. And we just thought we'll jump into it and try it out. And it's fun to, like, you know, I love that early startup stage. Like, for me, that's so fun to, like, create something different, pick a name, build a website, kind of, like, figure out what the service is going to be, what the price points are. Like, I love
the
all of that
research
stuff.
into it.
All the research in the startup. Like, that's my favourite phase. So we did that probably, like, about a year ago. I think it's taken definitely a back seat on my focus because I've been doing so much the last couple of years, but I definitely need to get back into focusing more on it. Cool. But I'm lucky that these kinds of things sort of like build themselves a little bit once they're up and running. I kind of facilitate now other people to do what they want to do. So Ice does tooth gems, and I did that with Hannah. a friend of mine who I've known for a long time, and she wanted to get into doing something business-wise, but she wasn't 100% sure, and she transparently didn't have the funds to fully start up and invest in a business. You know, she had to do a course, she had to learn how to do it, she had to get all the supplies, everything like that. And, you know, I have the finances now that I can support something like that. So I was like, okay, I can see that she's so ambitious, she's so talented. I know that she'll be amazing at this. So I believe in her 100% and back her fully. And I know that she'll be able to do an amazing job. So we kind of set all of that up together, and we did the branding, and we did all the same thing, you know, create a website and kind of share it. And we can do it under the umbrella of Haven, which is super cool. And then, that's tooth gems. So it's like gold and silver gems and diamantes on your teeth. Yeah, it's super cool. We use Swarovski.
Swarovski. Yeah, I know.
The crystals.
I know what you mean.
And then gold and silver as well. So
cool.
you can come in and get them.
Fun.
Yeah, which is super cool. And then the Haven piercing side of things is operated largely by Louise, and she is the head piercer at Haven, and she's a part owner as well in my other studio. She is a phenomenal person, so talented, so passionate at her job, and she's really done the Haven piercing stuff so well. She's really it's under the Haven brand, but it's really been built on the back of her incredible commitment and hard work to piercing. I've found people that are so passionate about what they do.
And talented, obviously.
And talented, talented. And on the backs of hard work, you know, and actually in a way we're all sort of business owners, in what we do. Even the tattoo artists, you know, they are their own brand as well. So they're sort of working all the time in the background on their own art and their own styles and their own branding and their own flash and their own designs and building a clientele and having rapport and, you know, getting more confident and gaining new skills. So it's a really fun industry, any sort of thing to do with, I feel, art, body modification, stuff like that. It's just fun to explore, and it's not super serious, and, you know, you can rock up to work wearing whatever you want, every day, which is so fun. It's not corporate.
It's been a creative environment.
We were talking about names recently.
Yes.
And it's so good that you've got a name that can be diverse.
Yes.
So you're not Tattoos by Jasmin. Yeah. You know, it's Haven, and there's so many different alleys you can go with that.
Absolutely.
Because we were just talking about businesses and names and stuff, and
you overthink them.
You can,
you do, definitely, but it's so important. I don't think I had at the start the vision for Haven Collective. So I'm lucky that I chose a name that was so adaptive.
How did you come up with that name?
Great question. Because originally, so we opened under my son's dad's brand. Originally we opened under that, and that's called Overank, which is so kind of random. It's just his name is Revo, his name backwards is Over. So he just kind of went over it. And I was like, okay, that's random, but we'll go with it. It's yours. So, cool.
Yeah.
Whatever. And eventually, after we split up, you know, I had to rebrand.
Yeah.
So the word Haven came from us creating a haven for people to come where they felt like they were going to be supported and nurtured in their careers.
Nice. It sounds like a safe space when you hear the word safe, haven.
Yeah.
It sounds, so nice.
The same with
nice.
now I'm sort of moving towards my own personal branding stuff. I've got this thing I've called it Emerge Network, the Emerge. So we're doing women in business events in Christchurch, which has been really fantastic. It's been super cool, and it was kind of Mia and I were just talking, and we're both super passionate about business and networking. And so I think for me in Bali, I have this amazing community of entrepreneurs and women in business that is so powerful, and we all come together, and everyone's super creative and super inspiring and super uplifting. We all encourage each other so much. You know, it's just oh my God, baby, you're doing that. That's so phenomenal. This is just, you know, just nothing but support. And it's so encouraging, it's so inspiring. If you surround yourself by people that are doing great and cool things, you will also do great and cool things. It's so powerful. And so I really when I've been coming back to Christchurch, sometimes I feel I lack the community side of things a little bit.
Oh yeah, I can totally agree.
That's kind of our goal with this podcast.
To meet people that are in the same boat, because I feel I know that they're out there, but where are you?
Yeah.
You know,
it can be super isolating. Honestly, you can feel really alone at different points of your journey. I have had times where I have felt there was no one that understood anything. And sometimes, especially when you have people working for you, you can't discuss that stuff with them. And it's really isolating. I've gone through various stages where you know, and you can't, as an employer and as a business owner, you can't really just tap out at any point. Like I couldn't just disappear for 2 weeks or like take a mental health break, even when my mental health has needed a fucking break.
Yeah.
You know, like
I had to like plan it. Like
it's
now
like,
I can have a
who's gonna
breakdown.
pay the bills? Who's gonna be the guy? Who's gonna fix the problems? Like it's like okay, I can't. You know, and there's been times where I felt like I needed to or anything, but you have to just keep going and pushing. And so like to create community where you can actually share those experiences with people that understand and relate, it's really powerful. And also supporting each other like as women is just so amazing, because like I feel like I actually only ever want to like build other women up, especially like in business. And my friend Narcissus, she's amazing. My friend in Dubai, she's just like the most powerful woman in the whole world. Like you see this woman and she just embodies everything you could ever imagine about being a strong woman. Like she's
and
phenomenal.
aren't people like that just so magnetic? Like
So
you
magnetic.
just want to be around them.
And she said this thing to me, and it sticks with me all the time. And it's like, what we want for ourselves, we should want for all women. And I always come back to that, because I'm like, why wouldn't we want it for everyone?
Yeah,
like I don't want
exactly.
it just for me. I don't want to just like be, confident and powerful and successful and financially free and all of these things I want for myself.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck fun is that?
Yeah.
Without having my friends around me doing the exact same thing. Like, what was what? So I get to do that by myself. No. I want everyone to be like, yes,
Exactly. And I think doing these women in business events is really important, because it can be really intimidating going to networking events, knowing that you're just going to walk in and be faced with a whole heap of finance bros. And for me, that's put me off going to things in the past. And so to have a space where it's a woman only? Woman only event. And you're doing things like a movie night. Like how cool is that?
I know. Well, that's the thing.
Yeah,
like,
just
honestly,
chill kind of atmosphere.
We do like paint and sips in Bali. Like we did this like shadow work and sip, and it was so beautiful. My friend Janae, she facilitated the whole thing. It was so beautiful. We had like these journal printouts, and like we did this painting, and we had to paint like a version of ourselves that we're going to let go of. And it was just like it was so beautiful.
Really cool,
and I painted this version of myself that was so busy, and because I'm like this person who never, like I said, never says no to anything, but to a point of my own detriment. Like I'm like 2 hours sleep, and I'm like, no, I'll be there at 5 a.m. Like, that's all good.
Going to Bali in 2 days. I'll do that podcast.
I'm jumping on the podcast. Don't worry, I'll make it work. I know. It's crazy. It's wild. Like my schedule between now and going to Bali in 2 days is like
stressing me out.
Thanks for slotting us in.
Thank you. No, thanks for having me. I'm happy to be here.
Probably touched on this already, but what would you say your biggest challenge you've faced, or like a big mistake that you might have made?
My biggest challenge, if I'm true, and it's hard to talk about, but it's probably the employment thing and like employing friends. A business can be messy with friends and personal relationships, and it's like affected some of my personal relationships with people, which is really hard for me to take, because my friends, my community is everything to me, my like network of women and stuff, so like it's hard not to take that sort of stuff personally. But employment stuff, if you're becoming an employer, learn employment law and get a HR company early days, because it's really easy to put a foot wrong when you're just trying to be like you feel like you're a team and a family and friends with everyone and we're all on the same page, and then all of a sudden you're not. And it's like a relationship that breaks up, right? It's like everyone's in love and happy and good until the divorce comes and then they want everything from you, and it's difficult. That sort of stuff's been really difficult to navigate and not take personally, and learn how to be better. But like I said, like I really do view everything as a growth point. It's been expensive lessons, but I'm at peace with where I am, and I'm at peace with what I've been through and what that's cost me in order to teach me a big lesson. So it's good. It's all lessons. It's all lessons, and I'm good with it. But it has been really difficult along the way. But probably balancing being a mum, actually, and it's something that I still struggle with, being a mum and a business owner. If I was not a mum, I would be 1,000-fold more busy. You know, the only thing that holds me back is the fact that I have a child and I can't just pile everything possible onto my plate. I would be doing the app right now. I'd have a full clothing line. We'd be all over New Zealand. Like if I just had all that time and freedom, but I like still have to prioritize my son, and I have to keep reminding myself of that all the time, that like he is my why, he is my purpose, he's the reason that I do what I do, because I want him to have a great life. I want to create opportunity for him. I want to be a good role model. You know, I've never had like financial support from anyone else for him. And, you know, I'm trying to model a good life for him.
Yeah.
And so, trying to balance that and not just like I get like super carried away with work, and I need to still focus on being present.
Even though it's for him, you know?
Even though it's for him,
Yeah.
but I need to remember, like, you know, his love,
day.
it's not about money and it's not about that. It's like they just actually want time with you, children. So, it's something I still struggle with if I'm transparent. Yeah, it's
That's
something
actually
I'm
our
really-
next
That goes
question.
into our next question. How do you manage balancing motherhood and business?
Not well. No, I manage it my best. I manage it the best that I can. And I'm so lucky because my son travels everywhere with me. Like we've done, last year we were in Europe for like 3 months. We did Dubai 4 times together.
Wow.
We were in Bali for a huge part of the year. And
What
he
a
comes to New
lucky
Zealand.
boy.
He's
Yeah.
super lucky.
That's
And everyone
awesome.
says that, but it's like also like in the background of that, like, you know, like we're in the airport lounge. I'm on my laptop. He's on his iPad. Like it's like I'm still trying to get stuff done all the time. And I don't have like, my son's dad's not super involved with him. He still sees him, but he's not super involved in the day-to-day life that we have. So it's, you know, it's a lot of the time it's on me. And my mum has been incredibly supportive. I'm so grateful. We were saying earlier, like grandparents are everything. So it's been amazing that I've had the support from my mum, that she comes in and looks after him so that I can get things done. And she's like so supportive of me and everything that I'm doing, and I'm so grateful to have her, because I wouldn't be able to do it guilt-free without that if I had to use a nanny or something
guilt,
like
hey?
that. Yeah, mum
That's
guilt. Mum
hard.
guilt is hard.
Hey, nannies are cheap in Bali.
Yeah,
we used
nannies
them the last time we were there.
Yeah, nannies are cheap in
Yeah, and
Bali,
they're
but
amazing.
They are amazing,
I
but-
loved our nannies.
amazing. Yeah.
Would you say, because we've got a question here, what keeps you going and motivates you? Would it be your son?
Yep, for sure. Money.
Yeah.
Money. I love money. Like, I'm not going to beat around the bush. I've always owned that. and I've
That's why
always
you
been,
do it at the end of the day.
Yeah, because and then that also benefits your son and
Yeah.
your lifestyle and everything.
I was listening to a podcast yesterday. It was like money's like fun tokens. It's not money that I love. It's like the fact that like money buys me my time.
Yeah.
It buys me my freedom. I
Yeah.
can buy things I love. I'm not so materialistic. Like I could live in a tent. It really doesn't bother me. My house in Bali is not fancy at all. My house here is not that fancy. It's a nice house, but it's not like, you know, I'm not living in a mansion, and it doesn't bother me whatsoever.
Yeah.
I'm definitely like, I don't need designer handbags or like, you know, crazy amounts of, you know, ridiculous wealth. But I like to be able to make decisions knowing that it's not going to impact me financially to go on a trip or to buy something for my son, or I can decide whatever school he wants to go to I can afford, you know, or something like these sorts of decisions aren't impacting me, aren't being impacted by my financial position.
Yeah.
So for me, money was freedom, and I'm like lean into that a lot. And so like I've been, it does drive me a lot to see my team happy as well. I think like, I've got that people pleaser tendency, and so like when I do see like something that I've built myself, poured my heart and soul into, and that is actually a really amazing thing that people think is really cool and have great experiences in and love their life and come to
But I just want to touch on like the money side of it. So how does it work if you've got a tattoo artist in your studio? Is it like a rent-a-chair thing, or are they on a salary, hourly rate? Like how does that side of it kind of work?
Personally, I mean, every tattoo studio is totally different. There's very much rent-a-chair situations, which work well for a lot of people, especially when tattoo artists have their own strong clientele. But we are commission based, so we do a commission split, which I won't reveal with
that's
on the podcast. It's different for every tattoo artist depending on their level of experience, their own ability to contribute to their clientele, their commitment to work, and it's always something that we change and amend with the artists as they've been with us longer and shorter and whatever. But it's a commission based industry, and we take what we feel is fair. And we provide a lot in return for that commission. So it's as a small business, it's not that financially lucrative. But as you build it bigger, taking the same commission from more people, and creating an environment where you're able to, like, you know, now we order so much that I get wholesale prices on everything and yada, yada, yada. All these things sort of like over time work to save me money, and then I can provide these amazing supplies, and we can do courses, and we can have social things, and, you know, we use the money a lot to reinvest back into the businesses. I think it's probably something I haven't touched on, is like the years that I've had these businesses, I've reinvested so heavily into them. I probably could have had the freedom to take twice as much profit, but the businesses would never have grown, because I've so heavily reinvested at every stage of the business on improving the things that we do, the things that we give, building a team culture, having better staff, like enhancing like my management team with more skilled people. As time has gone on, I've been able to afford to pay people higher, which means that we're getting different kind of people working for us, and that's bringing in whole different skill sets into the workplace, which has been super cool. But the money side of things is commission based, and then we supply everything. And the artists get to come to work and enjoy what they do best, and that's their art. And
Have an awesome boss too.
It depends who you are. Some of them will say that.
It would have been hard when you saw the money coming in not to dive into it.
I've had like a good mindset around that from the start. So I've always had separate bank accounts for my businesses, and I never view the money in the business accounts as my own money. I just view that as the business's money.
Yeah, that is a good way to look at it.
And so when I spend it, it feels like I'm spending the business's money, because I never became attached to that money.
Like you work for them, you're using the business card.
I'm using the business card. I just feel it like it was someone else's business card. And it's like, okay, cool, the business account has $15,000 in it. That's great, but 5's going to GST next week, but I don't feel like I woke up this morning and spent $5,000 of my own money. You know, like it's like it's something that like is just an expense. It's just something that we need to buy. It's something that we can't operate without. You know, and so like having that sort of mindset around like spending for your business, and just being able to be like, okay, well, you know, for example, like with clothing, now we're doing, like, and you will understand this, Charles. Like it's like, you know, you look at it and it's like a big hefty upfront cost to do the order, and you're like, okay, like, am I really going to make this back? Like, you know, I need to sell XYZ amount just to cover the costs of ordering, and MOQs are big, and it's like, and it's a little bit more of a risk being a product-based business, but
clothing's hard too, because you also have to get every size and every colour, and then that is your MOQ. So it's like
it's so much, and so it's like just sort of like working those things out, and just being like, oh, do you know what? Okay, well, if this is what it's costing me to make each thing, I would need to cover X, Y, Z. Is this actually doable? Yeah, I think it is. Okay, I'm good. We're good to go. So it's just like I just make financial decisions. I don't think too hard into money. I'm not attached to it. I have that like detachment thing where I'm just like, if it all drained out of my bank account tomorrow and I got, you know, like every cent taken away from me,
you know how to start it over again.
I just
you know how to build it up.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah,
you know,
nice.
I there's certain things I wouldn't compromise on, but I would be able to rebuild myself really easily. I'm confident in that. I could go into anything. I could go into a job and I would work my way up quickly because I work hard and I know that I'm good at what I do. So
love it. Yeah. You've touched on this a little bit, but where do you see your business going for the future? I know you mentioned Merge. What's the plan for that? Tell us a bit more.
Okay, so Emerge definitely will just continue to be sort of a networking event as well for me. Like, it's like I actually do have a good level of income now where I want to give back to like community stuff as well. And so for me, actually, it's a tax deduction too. But if I'm hosting these events, they're sort of like creating community, creating network, doing something that I'm really passionate about in Christchurch and in New Zealand, and that I can see a lot of space for. And, you know, it's money that I would otherwise probably be donating to something else. And it is sort of, for me, I feel like it's a little bit like a donation thing. It's
definitely.
Like building community and giving back to people that I want women to be uplifted and have opportunity. So I'm super passionate about that. But Haven, for sure, I'm looking to expand around New Zealand. Like I do think our next stage is Queenstown. So I've been looking at commercial leases down there already when the right thing comes up. And I'm good with people knowing that, like, we want to take Queenstown next, and that will be a CBD, middle of the road. Like, we want to be right in the busyness, which is hard to find an available building, which I'm open to anything. So if you're in Queenstown, you know,
Yeah.
also open to buying your tattoo studio if you are in Queenstown with a tattoo studio that you want to sell. We'll even rebrand just for you. But yeah, I mean, Queenstown's our next stage, and I've already got artists in the wings waiting for that. And I do feel that Queenstown is really where I'd love to be. That's the next haven for sure.
Amazing.
But I also wouldn't be opposed to kind of the way that I see it is like I'd love to build it up to the brand to the point where like we have everything. Like now we have policy, we have packages, we have the way that we do everything. We have our bookings management team. We'll eventually have a HR team. We sort of have different people that do different things in the business. And I don't want to say the F word franchise, but like more like we want to find people to partner with that are interested around New Zealand to sort of like invest with me and run on the ground ops and that side of stuff. And I will be able to provide all of the information, the knowledge, the policy, the books, the instruction manuals on how to operate everything and everything we do. So that's sort of like I'm packaging that all up to sort of put away for when I find people that are investors or people that want to open tattoo studios and don't know where to start. And I will, be open to doing that anywhere really in New Zealand. But I also do want to do this app sort of development thing. I have like this low-cost subscription app thing idea, and I don't want to share it too much, but that's also in the wings of my next stages.
Exciting stuff.
Yeah, that's probably like my 5-year plan. If I focus on those things. Also want to build a house in Bali. I'm like still looking for land in Bali to buy because I'm tempted to build a house.
Yeah.
And I got to figure out where I want to be based full time by the time my son starts school, so no pressure.
Our next guest is someone who has created a subscription app. So you have to listen to that one.
It's really cool. Honestly, I talked to an amazing lady. Her name's Lisa Fong, and she does Move It Mama, which is a like fitness.
Yeah, I know who you mean.
Yeah, she's phenomenal. She's an incredibly talented woman and going through an incredibly hard time at the moment, and she's just so fucking strong. Amazing woman. But yeah, we talked to her on our podcast that we used to do, my friend and I'm on, about, just sort of how she's built community and how low-cost subscription businesses are actually a really great way to scale because you're sort of providing the same service, whether it's one-to-one or one-to-many. And I can see a lot of room for it in terms of the tattoo industry. So I'll probably stay in my lane a little bit with the tattoo stuff. I think that it's an amazing opportunity in this industry. There's so much to do and grow and learn because it's really it's just growing and becoming more popular, more mainstream. And so like as that goes, I feel like I've come in at a time where like my sort of skill set is valuable, and like ambition and not being afraid to stand out and doing things differently and pushing the boundaries and encouraging professional standards and stuff. I feel like all of this sort of stuff is like really cool to be involved with at the moment. I love the industry. I love tattoo artists. I love my team, and I'm like passionate about where I am and where I'm headed with that. I think like the piercing, Louise, is just growing and growing and growing that. Treasures will just keep ticking along. So will Tooth Gems. It's like those are kind of little side hustles for me, I feel. Yeah. And
so cool.
The clothing side of things as well. We'll keep doing that. I want to do a collab with Curata Archive.
Oh, I'd love her. Yes, I was hoping to get her on as a guest actually.
Oh, she's amazing. I love Ken. She's
cool.
the best.
I've got one of her t-shirts.
Cool. Oh, she's giving me some stuff to take back to Bali.
I screenshotted her account yesterday because I was like, I need to send this to Chel.
We'll get her on.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, definitely. She's amazing. Yeah. She's so talented. So we want to do a collab with her for clothing.
Amazing.
And then sort of do like, some one-off pieces that we'll sell in the studio and through Curata.
Where can we kind of find you? Like, what's your Insta? What have you got? What kind of platforms have you got for people to find you?
Absolutely. Okay. You can find my Instagram. My personal Instagram is Jasmin Bristow, Jasmin Bristow, Bristowe. And then Haven Tattoo NZ on Instagram, and then the Emerge Network NZ as well. So you can find those sorts of things. We've got a Women in Business Otautahi Facebook group. If you search that up, you can find the Facebook group, and we will be moving more we're going to make an Instagram for women in business and do some more stuff through that. So definitely, like, if you're a woman out there, you're interested in business, definitely get in touch and join our community and come to our events. You know, we do like koha based or free events. It's never going to be something that we want to make heaps of money off. That's not my ambition or my drive or my point with that. It's about actually building community and you know, women coming together to have a fun time. So it's cool, and we've got lots of cool stuff coming up. Otherwise haventattoo.co.nz.
Yeah, and if they want to walk in off the street, you're on.
And if you want to walk in off the street, absolutely, or come in and find me in one of the studios. I mean, I'm not here for the winter. Ooh, too cold.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I'm in Christchurch, I'm definitely either at New Regent Street studio or my Drifter studio a lot of the time.
Man, I feel really inspired after this chat. I'm like,
same.
I'm gonna go home. I'm like, gonna get into it.
Gonna make all this money.
Build this lifestyle, financial freedom. Don't care what people think of me. Yeah. Me too. I mean,
take on the world now.
Yeah.
I can talk about this stuff for days, and I do like drill my own brain with it, and so that it's about creating your own reality and just sort of living in it and just being like, who cares? I'm just gonna do what I keep doing, and as long as I'm happy doing it, we're good.
Yeah.
Well, thanks so much for coming on, Jasmin.
My pleasure.
It's been super inspiring.
Yeah.
Thank you for having
Thank you
me.
so much.
My pleasure.
Thank you.